Hello everyone and welcome to CALLOUS Invitational 4. My name is the BILLDOZER and today we have Shortage versus Blightbringer. Both players being 0-1 means that they're fighting to stay alive here in the lower round. Shortage already faced a Blight of his own in round 1 in the form of Sandvale, with this particular Blightbringer being last year's third place winner, ABR. Unfortunately, some smart plays and a little bit of luck on his opponent's part ended with Shortage losing the series. On the other hand, while Blightbringer lost games 2 and 3 to H-Clat's offenses, he has certainly had no shortage of screen time, with their first game coming in at just over an hour. Will today's games go as long, or will the two players find themselves in a slugfest to stay in the event? Let's find out with Game 1. Gonna have Shortage with the name ADV Hunger Switch here on the bottom, whereas Blightbringer using Blightbringer. Starting off, looking at the lead matchup, we are going to have a Zapdos from Shortage, whereas Blightbringer has a Tyranitar. Gonna want to probably switch out from the Zapdos, as Blightbringer prepares a Focus Punch. However, we do see Protect coming out of the Zapdos. Means that it's likely a defensive set, and it means that this is maybe going to last, a little bit longer, as Zapdos gonna switch out now, bringing in a Swampert, which is probably going to take the Focus Punch. Okay, 40%. Doesn't suggest a ton. Swampert takes it pretty comfortably. Gonna switch out now, though, and bring in Forretress, which suggests a lot about Shortage's team. Forretress gonna be able to get a couple layers of spikes up without too much issue, unless Blightbringer's Skarmory has Taunt. Now, is there a chance that this could be a YOLO Skarm? It's not going to come into play exactly immediately, however. We are going to see a Whirlwind come out, so that's going to deny that fact. Just going to be a regular Taunt Skarm. Tyranitar going to be coming in now for Shortage. We are going to see Tyranitar coming in for Blightbringer. Fast doubles, goodness. Having trouble keeping up with it all. However, Shortage is going to take this opportunity to try and get some spikes up now. He's going to be able to get up one layer. However, Blightbringer's Skarmory likely going to stop that in its tracks right here, unless it sees an opportunity to get up its own spikes. Skarmory now getting up its own spikes, as looks like Shortage is what? Going to get up a second layer? Yep. So I can't help but imagine we may see Zapdos come back in here in the next couple turns. Is Blightbringer going to do anything to try and stop this? No, he is going to try and prevent that Rapid Spin by swapping into Gengar, looking like a pretty basic TSS team out of Blightbringer, whereas I can't help but think that Shortage is really going for the same win conditions as Blightbringer, but the way that he's going about it is a little more roundabout than the classical setup that you may see on the average ADV TSS team. Gengar going to miss a Hypnosis, which is not unexpected, you could say. Whereas Tyranitar does have the Pursuit, is going to do a big chunk to Gengar. That does not want to take that at all. As Gengar does hit its second Hypnosis, going to take that Tyranitar out of the game for the next couple turns at least. Gengar, maybe not with anything that can threaten the T-Tar immediately. However, it does actually have Focus Punch. Excuse me. It is able to threaten this T-Tar pretty comfortably. Not going to, kill, but T-Tar is dead to spikes. So, Shortage may find himself wanting to just sack off this T-Tar now, as he is actually going to swap it out, confident that he can get a Rapid Spin off. Got to bring in Zapdos. Blightbringer making a smart move, clicking the Ice Punch into it. However, Ice Punch not going to kill next turn, and this Gengar is going to be threatened pretty immediately. So we do see a Jolteon, Jolt Spikes team coming out of Blightbringer, which is going to get Toxic. Very smart play from Shortage. I don't know if he knew the Jolteon was going to be coming in, or if it was just a safe play because he knew Gengar was going out. However, well played. Going to be threatening this Jolteon, and really going to make it, it's going to have a lot less staying power than you would have seen it have otherwise. However, Jolteon is trying to get off a Roar here, whether or not it tries to get it off. Blissey going to come and be revealed, going to be able to wall that Jolteon pretty comfortably. And I can't help but think that Blightbringer is going to be forced to either swap out or Roar here. This is going to go back to Skarmory. Going to look to maybe get a Taunt off or get up a couple more layers of spikes. However, I would say that, regardless of the fact that T-Tar is so low, I can't help but feel like Shortage is in a pretty good position here. Considering Zapdos is relatively healthy. His team looks quite strong against what Blightbringer has. However, these extra layers of spikes are really going to sort of force the issue. on future things that might want to come in. But, you know, until we see what these other two that Blightbringer has is, you know, Zapdos seems like a real threat because Jolteon doesn't really have the luxury of just being able to come in. Nothing really wants to come in and on Zapdos, even the thing that's designed to come in on Zapdos. So we are going to see Fortress come back out. Going to be a real opportunity as he gets wished up for him to try and get off a Rapid Spin. But if he does have any sort of coverage to cover that Gengar, then we may see him click it here, as he is just going to get up a third layer. Not going to be able to be killed by anything particular from Gengar. So if he has a way to threaten, he doesn't seem to have the coverage. He's just going to sack T-Tar. Going to end the turn right here, full stop. You're going to see Zapdos come back out. And if Blightbringer decides to sack this, that's some very relevant damage on Zapdos. However, he does want to save his spin blocker. As Zapdos just clicks Hidden Power, not a bad move, trying to hit the Jolteon as it comes in. Jolteon at 46%, so we would be seeing it getting within sand range if it took that Hidden Power. T-Tar coming in now, we didn't get a great handle on what its item could have been. It is revealed to have leftovers, so, you know, Rock Slide an immediate threat. But this Swampert's really getting pretty low. That's a lot of damage. And without knowing too much about the Swampert, I have to assume it would have Protect, which means it's going to be able to get a lot of health back. However, we do have Metagross coming out on Blightbringer. It's revealed kind of late. I'm wondering what kind of set this could be, possibly Agility, just by how late it's revealed. It is going to click Earthquake and go down to Swampert. So, a little bit of a questionable, you know, it just didn't want to take those 3 spikes on the Surf. It's a lot of damage. Not sure what he was really expecting out of it. Possibly a Protect. However, Shortage playing it a little safer here. But Tyranitar's still going to be a pretty immediate threat. Going to be able to take 1 Earthquake from Swampert, but it doesn't want to take 2. Going to take the Surf pretty awfully and miss a Rock Slide, which is not ideal. It's not ideal for Blightbringer at all. And, you know, he's going to go down to the Surf next. So nothing wants to come in on the Surf either. Until we know what this last is. I'd have to assume it would be... I can't assume anything, really. Especially if that was Gilligros. My go-to when I'm trying to guess teams is that you would want something that can build up speed, but I couldn't tell you what it could be now. So Gengar is going to come in, look to get off another Hypnosis. Blissey would be a decent switch into this. However, the fact that Gengar is confirmed to have Focus Punch means that, you know, you don't just want to bring it in willy-nilly. So Swampert's going to eat the sleep, which is not a huge sacrifice now that T-Tar is down, and that it can still probably come in on Jolteon pretty comfortably. And Gengar is just going to look to chip down this Swampert with Ice Punch. However, Swampert is going to get the first turn Wake, and it is going to drop the Gengar with a Surf. Very powerful Swampert coming out here. Been doing a lot of work this game. And the last is going to be a Zapdos. Zapdos, not a major threat. Doesn't even have HP Grass. Definitely not a major threat to anything that Shortage has brought. And even if this Swampert goes down, we are going to see this Blissey be able to wall it pretty comfortably. Unless that Hidden Power was HP fighting the whole time or something. But that seems unlikely. So at this point, we're just going through the formalities. Still don't even know what Shortage's last is. And this is going to be a pretty comfortable win for Shortage. It's a very strong Swampert. But it does have Protect. Be interested to know what that spread is. Like I said, this is all formalities, just kind of waiting for this to go through. And Blissey's going to be able to comfortably, you know, Seismic Toss or Ice Beam its way through these last couple of Electrics. However, fun team out of Blightbringer. I like the, you know, I like the general idea. And that's going to be game. However, we're not done yet, as I'm going to go right into the second game here. And we can just get going. So I'm going to need to swap these names in a second. However, let's go on. Let's see what happens. So looking at the lead matchup in this game too, Zapdos lead from Blightbringer and Zapdos lead from Shortage. Shortage bringing the Zapdos lead again and immediately revealing Blissey. Zapdos getting off a Thunder Wave, not going to be too bothersome for the Blissey. However, we are going to see an immediate Metagross switch, which comes as a big threat to Blissey, and it doesn't really want to. Rather, Zapdos doesn't want to take it too much either, and that is an immediate Choice Band Explosion. Going to take down the Forger, going to prevent Shortage. I want to say real quick, just looking at what we've seen here, there's a very real possibility Shortage just brought the same team twice. I would be surprised if he did, but you know, with 3 months revealed, I definitely can't say that it's out of possibility. Blightbringer also bringing a similar team, not really enough info yet to say, you know, that it could be different. Especially since Zapdos, Metagross, Tyranitar 3 are the most common Pokemon in the meta. But, you know, seeing Zapdos, Blissey, Fortress, it just speaks a little more. It's a little more, I don't want to say unique, but, you know, Skarmory's your Spiker, so. Okay, well, we are going to see Breloom immediately. And this is going to pose a threat to T-Tar. However, it's first going to pose a threat to whoever wants to take this Spore. It looks like the plan is for Zapdos to take it. Zapdos gets put to sleep, and while it does resist Breloom's attacks, Breloom is pretty strong. It probably doesn't want to take more than one if it can help it. We're going to see Salamence come in. Salamence is going to wall Breloom pretty comfortably. Gonna have to wait till the end of the turn to see what kind of Salamence it is. Takes, we do have a leftovers here, and looking at what we've seen, it's probably a mixed Mence. Blissey's gonna come in now on Swampert. And Swampert has to be the rock resist for this team, right? Because Metagross just seemed to want to boom from the start. Swampert now clicking Earthquake. Does it have any sort of Ice Beam? If it doesn't, that suggests Endeavor. Although if he knew that it had HP Grass, then that would also speak to his confidence. I'm just speaking because, you know, if he has Pump, Earthquake, substitute Endeavor, then that would explain a lot. This is a very offensive team coming out of Blightbringer. Did that Jirachi use a move? No, so we can't tell exactly what kind it is. But just going off of what the rest of his team looks like, I would not be surprised if he had brought some sort of Super Rachi. Salamance's going to take a Sky Uppercut, and it still takes these hits pretty comfortably, but it's not gaining any health back due to the sand in play, so it really can't take a lot of this. Salamance's going to reveal an HP Grass. Oh, no, wait. That can't be HP Grass. That did 33%. That has to be HP Flying, so it may not be that mixed. I could be very wrong about that. Blissey going to heal itself up pretty comfortable, and what does Swampert want to do now? It does reveal that it is Ice Beam, actually. It was just Blightbringer being confident that he didn't need to reveal it. And that is going to reveal leftovers, too. So I was completely wrong about this Swampert. That's on me. However, Shortage brings in a Zapdos on the second Ice Beam. So Zapdos does take that pretty comfortably. However, it is going to force out Swampert with the threat of a hidden power. We're going to just see Breloom come back in pretty comfortably. It can throw off another Focus Punch if it wants, but Salamence can't keep taking these. %. That's a scary, very scary damage threshold. However, Shortage going to play it safe. He understands his Breloom's value to this game. And he's going to swap out. While Salamence does click the Dragon Dance, I don't think that this kills. Oh, it doesn't take anything from that. Jesus. Salamence going to go down to the Ice Beam from Swampert. And things are not looking good for Blightbringer. Need to get a better idea of what kind of Jirachi this could be before we really say how bad things are. Because Jirachi certainly got the capabilities. It is going to click Calm Mind without knowing any of the other moves. We can't say for sure what set it is. Hidden Power something. Hidden Power Grass, I assume. But if it has Psychic and like Ice Punch, I guess it could do it. But if it doesn't have any form of recovery, yeah, it just looks like Super Rachi. It's going to start threatening this Blissey, but it's not going to be able to do more than get a couple more attacks off. So I guess you would want to go for drops now. Not that there's a whole lot that really threatens a dropped Blissey. But I would have to say that Shortage looks in a very strong position here, especially assuming that this Jirachi has no way of healing itself. Zapdos is still asleep as well. And barring crits, it seems like Shortage is playing out the game not as a formality, but, you know, it's kind of... This is not a difficult sequence. Just, you know, it's pretty obvious from a start that this is a winning game for Shortage. Or rather, this is a winning 1v1. You know, he just gets to keep healing up this Blissey. And, you know, every few turns he gets to click a Sizing Toss that does 30%. So it's probably going to take him a couple more turns. Oh, no, he just doesn't even bother healing it up. He knows that he'll live that, and he takes out the Jirachi. And he can afford to sack off this Blissey here because Breloom still gets to come in for free every single turn. The Tyranitar's on the field. And there's nothing really the Blightbringer has that can take these fighting type attacks very well. Zapdos going to come in now. Going to take a Sky Uppercut for 30%. Good, not great, because Swampert is still going to wall that Zapdos pretty comfortably. Although we really don't have a great idea of what kind of hidden power the Zapdos has. But now that it's taken 15%, you know, Swampert's going to take, what, 80% from an HP Grass? It doesn't really have the capabilities of winning the game anymore. As Zapdos actually also gets 3 sleeped. And even though it does live the Mach Punch, and that was a pretty... The fact that it lived was pretty big. It did not get the luck that it needed to try and wake up there. And we're going to see Breloom do Breloom things now. It does Spore the Swampert back to sleep, and Blightbringer doesn't really have any other options beyond wake up early and get off an Ice Beam, because he can't exactly swap into this. Shortage, however, going to play it pretty safe. Going to go back to his Zapdos, just so he can deal with this Swampert in as few turns as possible. Hidden Power, going to drop the Swampert in one. Very powerful Zapdos. And Blightbringer is just going to forfeit there. So Shortage going to win this game, and Blightbringer is going to be out of the tournament now. Shortage going to be advancing to the next round, and we'll see who he will be playing then. However, that's been it for this lower bracket game, and y'all have a good day.